AP/BC Calculus students, this video describes integration by part. Integration by part involves derivative and integration of a function in the same step. So page number 26 and page number 27 are the quick review of derivative and antiderivative together. I would like you to pause the video and complete page number 26 and 27. Try as many as you can and do as fast as you can. It says clearly that 10-minute derivative integration review. So there are 20 problems and less than a minute you need to do all of them. In my video, I'm going to show the answer. So you might want to pause the video and do those problems first. Now take a look at these answers here. Derivative of x cube is obvious. Derivative of 3 to the x is 3 to the x times ln 3. So check these answers. They are also posted in the file sections in the Canvas. I'm just revealing the answer. You don't have to simplify here. This is like a speed test, as fast as you can, as many as you can. So this is page number 26. I'm going to show you the answer for page number 27 as well. E to the 5x is e to the 5x times 5, but notice that antiderivative of e to the 5x is e to the 5x divided by 5. So here the speed is important here. As many as you can, as fast as you can. You don't have to worry about number 14, secant x. Try to do as fast as you can, as many as you can. So now let's take a look at what is integration by part, which is page number 28 in your packet. Integration by part is a page number 28 in your packet. So ways to integrate a product. This is integration by part is a kind of a product rule. When you have a one function times another function. Now differential of another function, not necessarily, but you have two functions, they do not match each other. In other words, U substitution does not work. Integration by part, you have two different functions, f of x and g of x, and there is a no U substitution method works. So there is a very short proof here why it works. Take a look at the ready notes here. We start with the product rule of derivative. U, derivative of v, and v as it is derivative of u. Then we integrate both sides with respect to x and rearrange them. So integrate with respect to x on both sides and we rearrange them, we get this formula. Antiderivative of uv is a u times v also. Antiderivative of v, so you get integral v du. The easiest way to remember the formula is, again, take a look at the box we have here. Two different functions, uv minus integral v du. This is the formula. You are supposed to memorize them. You have to know them very well. Now, the biggest question here is, how do we know which one is your u, which one is your v? So I'm just going to explain here. Choosing parts in integration by part can be tricky. So use these two criteria. Primary criterion is dv must be something which is easy to integrate and u should be the one which gets simpler and simpler, which means the u is the one which is easily reducible. It can be reduced or it can be easily rewritten and usually not very complicated. Now we have this acronym here, we use LIPIT. This you will need to write it down in your packet. What is a LIPIT stands for? So I'm just going to show you here. Write this down in your note, please. Integral u dv is equal to uv minus integral v du. That's the formula. ideal if u is differentiates to 0. Choice of u should be easily reducible to 0. dv is easy to integrate. So let's write it down. What is a Lipet stands for? L stands for log. You look for log first. Do we have any log? If you don't have any log, then look for inverse trig. If you don't have any inverse trig, you look for the polynomial. If you don't have a polynomial, then the last choices are exponential and trig. Why exponential and trig are the last choice? Because derivative of exponential function, you are going to get the same exponential function. Derivative of trig function, you are going to get another trig function. So notice that choice of u, this is only for the u, and in this order you have to choose. So exponential trig are always going to be dv, not u. So choice of u is the most important one, and the only way you can learn all this by practice, practice, practice. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. So you are given x times cosine x. So first let's check it out. Why u substitute does not work? Because there is a single x here. If I say x, u is equal to x, du is dx, that does not make any sense. So there are two different functions. One function is x, another function is a cosine x. How do I know what's the choice of u and what will be dv? So let's start for L. Do I have any log? No. Do I have any inverse trig? No. Do I have any polynomial? What is polynomial? Polynomial means algebraic part. So x is considered a polynomial, which is a function. Sometimes they use Lie. Lie means algebraic function. Algebraic functions are the same as polynomial. So x is your choice of u. Now make sure you follow the way I write it down, because the way I write it will help you to memorize this formula as well. So u and dv. U is x. dv is cosine x dx. This is my u and dv. If u is x, what will be the derivative of u? Derivative of u is dx. du is equal to dx, derivative. V would be, what is antiderivative of cosine x? Antiderivative of cosine x is a sine x. But plus c, right? We always can't leave the c. So derivative of u is a du. Antiderivative of cosine x is a sine x. Now all you have to do is write your answer. So writing the answer is, show you the formula. Formula is u times v minus integral v du. So it's so much easier if you write it here. This is my u. U times v. Multiply this to u times v, which is x times sine x. Plus c, we can add the c at the end because we are going to have a final at the end. You can add the c. Then minus sine integral v du. This is the easiest way to minus integral v and du. Multiply together. So integral sine v is sine x dx. Let's put the c at the end because we don't need a c, plus c will be another c, or let's write the c here if you want to. Let's write the c. So this is the first part. Now x times sine x, leave it as it is, minus, what is antiderivative of sine x? Now this is easy to do. Antiderivative of sine x is negative cosine x plus c, let's say, or let me write that c also. So now what's happening here is plus c, and this c you are subtracting 2 c's. But then if you want to integrate the c, like I would recommend that let's keep all the c's aside. Let's not include any of those c's, because those c's is a c of a c. Think of that. So x times sine x plus cosine x, and the last answer you bring the c. This is your final answer. One more time, how do you choose a u? Start for, do I have any log? No. Do I have any inverse trig? No. Do I have any p polynomial? Polynomial is x, so that's my u. The rest of the function becomes dv. Find the derivative of this column, find the entire derivative of this column, and setup is u times v minus integral v du. Let's practice one more. Okay, so we have a 5x and e to the 3x. Remember, I explained that e is not a choice of exponential, and trig are least likely you choose for u. They are always going to be dv. So u is equal to 5x, dv is equal to e to the 3x dx. Du is equal to 5, right? And v is antiderivative of e to the 3x is e to the 3x divided by 3. Let's put the c aside. We don't need a c at this time. Okay, setup is, let me use a different color. Okay, so this is my u, dv, du, v. U times v, u times v. So multiply these two. Let's write the formula also so that we memorize u v minus integral v du. So let's write the formula. This should not be equal to sign because this is just my formula. U times v, so 5x times e to the 3x over 3. I'm purposely using parentheses. You can skip that if you want to, minus integral sine v du. V is e to the 3x over 3. Du is dx also here, 5 dx times 5 dx. So now this is always a two-step problem. This, you are not integrating or derivative anything. This is simply u times v. So just copy those two functions. Might want to simplify 5/3 e to the 3x. Many times in multiple choice questions, they are always simplified. Now here 5/3, you can factor it out. Antiderivative of e to the 3x is again e to the 3x over 3 and c. Multiple choice questions, sometimes this is simplified to e to the 3x over 3 and 5. You can factor out, and it is x minus 1/3. Let's see, I think, yeah, this is simplified answer, but you stop here. So let's take a look at another example on the next page. Okay, so this is two methods we have. I'm going to explain both methods. One is a simpler one than the other one. So let's check it out first here. Remember, leap it. L log, no inverse trig, comes polynomial. So I'm just writing, we need a lot of room, that's why you are given a space here. So I'm writing u is equal to x square, dv is equal to cosine 4x. Okay, du 2x, v is antiderivative of cosine 4x is sine 4x divided by 4. Don't worry about the c at this time. And derivative of this is 2x dx, like you used to do in a u-sub. So let's set it up. Is equal to u times v. So multiply this 2, x square over 4 times sine 4x minus integral v du minus integral this 2. So integral sine 2x times sine 4x divide by 4 and dx. I'm multiplying all of this together. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Again, I have x times sine 4x. This piece is good, I got it. But what about this? If I simplify this, I can factor out 1/2 and I can still get it x times 4 sine 4x dx. What do we do here? Go again. And that's the reason I had this symbol there. You have no choice. Sometimes you have to repeat. Go one more time, just like L'Hopital. Do it again, do it again. So here, keep this as it is, separate this piece. Take this piece aside and do it again. So u is equal to x, dv is equal to sine 4x, du is equal to dx, and v is antiderivative of sine 4x is cosine 4x divided by 4, but the negative sign. And one more. U times v minus integral v du. So let's build this answer. You have to bring it down. X square over 4 sine 4x minus 1/2 and all these answers. So that will be negative x over 4 cosine 4x minus integral, then 2 negative makes it positive, cosine 4x over 4 dx. And so third step is copy this as it is, x square over 4 sine 4x. This 2 negative makes it positive, x over 8 cosine 4x. Distribute the negative sign. So 1/8. What's antiderivative of cosine 4x? We just did here. Antiderivative of cosine 4x is a sine 4x over 4. Remember, this 4 went with this 2 and became 8, but the antiderivative of sine 4x is you divide by 4, and now you write c, and this is your final answer. So we says, how many times do we have to go? In this question, we went only 2 times, but imagine what happened if I had a third power or a fourth power or a fifth power. Cosine 4x, no matter how many times you do find derivative, antiderivative, you are going to get the trig function. So this is a very good example where you can see that choice of u should be something which is easily you can reduce. You can see that the derivative of x square became 2x, 2x became x became 1. So there is an easier way to do this as well, and let me show you the tabular method. And yes, you are allowed to use the tabular method all the time. You are allowed to use the tabular method all the time. So please pay attention. This is the last few minutes, and then tabular method will save your time so much. Tabular method will save your time so much. So I'm going to write this problem again, same question, x square cosine 4x dx. So tabular method is you make a table, choice of u and dv. Choice of u was x square, dv is cosine 4x. This table you find the derivative. First column you keep finding derivative. So derivative of x square is 2x. Derivative of 2x is 2. Derivative of 2 is 0. This column you find antiderivative. Right. This column you find the antiderivative with respect to x. So antiderivative of cosine 4x is sine 4x over 4. Antiderivative of sine 4x is cosine 4x divided by 4, and I have another 4 that makes it 16, and that's the negative sign. Antiderivative of cosine 4x will be sine 4x divided by 4, and I have a 16, so that makes it 64, and then I'm going to inherit the negative sign. Okay, once you find the derivative and antiderivative, all you have to do is write the answer. So start building the answer and make sure you follow. This is the arrow, down arrow. You are multiplying this down arrow. The last step, you are going to find antiderivative with the negative sign, because this is a u, v, u, v, u, v. Each time you multiply u and v, u and v. But this is a repeated method. So how do we know the signs? So I'll give you example here. Signs will be alternate. The first one is a positive, and then you can see that the negative sign get distributed. So each time you have to write the alternate sign. So the first one is positive, second is negative, then positive and negative. And the last step, you always integrate. Okay, so let's start writing u and v. So first answer is x square over 4 times sine 4x. This 2 negative makes it positive, so the next will be 2x over 16 cosine 4x. The third is positive, negative will be negative, 2 over 64 sine 4x. And the last step, you integrate these two, but the 0 times anything is 0. An antiderivative of a 0 is a c. This is the answer. Let's check if it is the correct answer or not. We can check the answer with, compare these two answers. Let's compare these two answers. The one with the long way, one with the tabular method. Normally students always prefer the tabular method, but tabular method works only in certain conditions. So let's check. Do I have this x square over 4 sine 4x, x square over 4 sine 4x? I got that part. X over 8 cosine 4x. Remember 2/16 is the same as 1/8 cosine 4x. Okay, third is 8 1/8 sine 4x and 4. So 8 times 4 is 32. And 2 over 64 is also 32. And we have a C. Same answer. So aren't we good? We happy that tabular method works? Yes. And we don't have to do this over and over and over again. So when does the tabular method works? Tabular method works if u is linear. U is a linear, and I would recommend that if you use the tabular method all the time, that's perfectly all right. It's just that you have to stop somewhere. And if you notice that I was in fact using tabular method since beginning. That's the reason I was telling you that I want you to write such a way that u times me minus integral v du, u and dv, u and dv. This column, you find the derivative. This column, you find the entire derivative. It's just that you can stop after one step or two step or three step. You can use the tabular method here too. Derivative of x will be 1 will be, derivative of x will be 1, derivative of 1 will be 0, and then you just rewrite. So let's take a look at the last question on this page, and then you will have to do the homework. Now, remember I have told you that antiderivative of ln x was impossible until now. What's the antiderivative of ln x? Now we have to find it using integration by part. So if I use Lipit, L stands for log. So if u is equal to ln x, what will be dv? Well, dv is a 1. dv is 1 times dx. No number means 1. There is only one function. This column, we find the derivative. So derivative of ln x is 1 over x. Antiderivative of 1 is a x. Multiply this to this last step, antiderivative. So let's check it out. Integration of ln x is x times ln x minus integral, if I multiply this to 1 over x times x. 1 over x times x get cancelled. Antiderivative of 1 is x. And C. So this is the antiderivative of ln x. Yes, it shows up sometimes in AP exam. You don't have to memorize this, but use integration by part to get the answer. So antiderivative of, you might want to write it down if you want to memorize, or you can use a integration by part. Very good example. Okay, so this is a definite integral. We can take care of this next time when we meet, but I want you to practice the brand new rule we have learned. These are the 10 homework problems. 10 homework problems. Choice of u here is x plus 4. Do not distribute. It would be so much easier if you keep both of them together. Like for example, the u is x plus 4, dv is e to the negative 5x. Derivative of x plus 4 is 1, because derivative of x is 1, derivative of 4 is 0. And you can find the integration of this column. So make sure that 5, this is your u, 6, this is u, 7 and 8, ln, if you use the Lipit, ln x is the u, ln x is the 3x. So be careful with number 7 and 8. I want you to practice this new rule, integration by part, practice with the tabular method, and work on these 10 examples.